My name is Kristen Pierce. I am a religious science practitioner, and today I am leading our meditation. Welcome to the Columbus Center for Spiritual Living. Settle into your seat. Follow my words as it pleases you. This is 15 minutes of rest, peace, and expansion. Inhaling with me. And exhaling. Good. Letting yourself settle into your seat. If you need to move, to fidget, it's okay. Inhaling. And exhaling. Releasing all that you do not need right now. Releasing. Inhaling. Trusting that the air is always available for you now. And exhaling, releasing, releasing, releasing. Letting go of the stresses of today, the frustrations of the week that has passed. Inhaling, bringing in the fresh, the good, the new. Letting yourself be supported and knowing as you exhale, releasing again what is not useful in this moment. Knowing that as you release, there is more space to bring in, to renew, to refresh. Settling more deeply into your chair, bringing your attention into the center of your head. That space in the center of your head that is equidistant between left and right, top and bottom, back and front. That space in the center of your head, finding it. It is a neutral space, a space to be, a space to observe, a space that is just for you, for me. Inhaling. And exhaling. Allowing yourself to focus on that space in the center of your head. Imagining that it's comfy, cozy. The space knows no boundaries. It can be as big or as small as you desire. Continuing to inhale and exhale. Good. Keeping your attention in the center of your head. Noticing what it's like. And from that space in the center of your head, imagine that you look up and out above and beyond this body that you live in. Maybe up and out beyond this building, beyond the city. Maybe even beyond this cosmos. Good. temperature. Noticing if you have light or dark. In this space that is up and out, are you by yourself? Or can you see others somewhere in the distance? Allowing yourself to be curious, letting your gaze go wherever seems interesting. You can float, you can fly, you can zoom in, or jet away. This is time for exploration, expansion, in whatever way you please. Allowing yourself this time of freedom, looking out, looking beyond, and recognizing that you are anchored into the center of head, into this body, into this room. And if at any time it feels like too much, come home. Sit here, bringing attention back to breath. Your choice. Allow yourself these next few minutes as I become silent. Allow yourself to explore, to play, or to rest. Your choice. flying, or somewhere in between. Taking a moment to appreciate this time, this opportunity, this experience. Letting the goodness seep in even more. With your next in-breath, imagine the parts of you that are out there playing and flying and exploring and doing. Imagine with the next inhale, you come back closer into the center of your head. Exhaling again what is not necessary for this time. Yes. And then inhaling again, coming closer into the center of your head. Home. The roots are calling. And exhaling, releasing what is not relevant for right now. Good. And again, inhaling all the way back in until you can feel yourself go plunk into the center of your head. That space in this body that is yours, that space of neutrality. Take a look around into that center. Recognize that it is yours and you can go there anytime you desire. And then letting your awareness spread through your whole body. Glancing down. Neck and chest and belly and arms and legs and feet. And you feel yourself filling in. Yes. Good. Continuing to breathe in the goodness, the life. Continuing to exhale, release what is not relevant for now. Good. And as you're ready, just begin moving your shoulders and your toes, maybe wiggling your hips, moving your fingers. And when it feels right, crack your eyes open just a little bit. And when you're ready, begin gazing around the room. This is your space for right here and right now. Thank you for joining me for meditation today.
Practitioner, and I'll be sharing our announcements today. A huge thank you to everyone joining us today in person and on our Facebook page for meditation and Sunday celebration. We're excited to announce that our first workshop has been scheduled for next Sunday, April 24th at 12 p.m. Join Carissa Holmes to learn more about organic gardening and join the Seed Swap. Please sign up today on the sign-up sheet in the lobby, or you can use our Facebook page and respond there, or contact us through the link in the latest e-newsletter. If you would like to facilitate a workshop on a Sunday afternoon and have a great idea, please complete a 2022 CCSL workshop request form. You can contact the office or the e-newsletter for the form. You don't have to be a minister, you don't have to be a practitioner to share your talents with our community. Divine Dining is also back. Want to have folks over to share a meal, do some spoon bending, host a cookout, or create a special dessert? Gather together and support the center while having fun. Forms are also available to the e-newsletter or contact the office. We have our first Divine Dining event scheduled in May, and more details will be available soon. Columbus Pride is back this year for an in-person celebration. Save the dates June 17th and 18th, and if you would like to organize walkers from CCSL for the parade, let us know by contacting the office. And if you would like prayer after service or any time throughout the week, you can find our prayer practitioners on our website, columbuscsl.org, or you can submit a prayer request on our Facebook page. Today after service, our practitioners will be in the anteroom just outside those doors. That's the news for today. Let's all stand and sing our opening song, This Door is Open to You by Eddie Watkins, Jr. Good morning. Happy Easter. Welcome to the Columbus Center for Spiritual Living. Those people in person, those people that are watching us live, hi, happy Easter, welcome. And those people that will watch us in the future, I wish you a hello to the future. Hey, we are an inclusive organization. What that means is we love and accept you however you are expressing in the world and wherever you are on your path to Spirit, to God, because we know that all paths lead to God. So happy to see you and to have you here today for Easter. So let's start, I have to tell you, if you want to watch this later, we will upload this to our YouTube channel. Later. I was going to say station. And let's read our mission statement, if you would, with me. We serve the transformation of individual lives through education, spiritual practice, and deep community, using spirit and science of mind principles as our compass. So I'd like to take a moment to thank practitioner Kristen Pierce for the beautiful meditation this morning to get us all started and in the right consciousness. And she also will be holding High Watch, which helps us elevate the consciousness of our celebration today. And then I'd like to reintroduce Joni Bowman. Take away, Joni.
That's nice. Okay, we now begin our sacred service. A reading from Eric Butterworth, Spiritual Economics. When you really know yourself as a spiritual being, you experience the fulfillment of the law, which rushes, streams, and pours into you in substance, supply, and all that's required for success. Now let the music take us with it.
Let go of the shore and let the water carry you. Let go of the shore, float into the mystery. Let go of the shore and let the water carry you. Let go of the shore, float into the mystery. Let go of the shore and let the water carry you. Let go of the shore, float into the mystery. Let go of the shore and let the water carry you. Let go of the shore, float into the mystery. Let go of the shore and let the water carry you. Let go of the shore, float into the mystery. Let go of the shore and let the water carry you. Let go of the shore, float into the mystery.
And as we contemplate these inspiring words by Karen Drucker, let go of the shore, float into the mystery,
I am conscious of Spirit's presence, infinite love, and generosity. The love of this wonderful presence is within me and everyone in this service, and all who watch this, radiating to all, flowing through all, much like beautiful music touches our hearts. We are all one with this essence of life, and as we let it carry us, we feel the richness that is ours to share. I claim that we are abundantly supplied with everything that makes for beauty, well-being, progressive living, prosperity, and happiness. We truly have all we need, and it is all inside of us. Spirit is the constant and ever-flowing source in our lives, and like a spiral staircase that leads us up higher and higher, we are continually held in that power, in that care of Spirit, as we rise up to meet our day with joy and with gratitude. And I know this service is in divine order, perfect and blessed, lifting us up with the power and the wholeness of the One. I now release this understanding of this oneness, this truth, into the law, knowing that it is already done in the mind of the ever-present Spirit. And so with a grateful heart for this loving, healing, and enlightened presence within, please join me in saying, and so it is.
Let go of the shore and let the water carry you. Let go of the shore, float into the mystery. Float into the mystery.
Hello again, happy Easter. I don't think I told you who I was, it was a mystery. Flow into the mystery. My name is Margie Sammons. I'm a practitioner here at the Columbus Center for Spiritual Living, also spiritual director. So, I'm so excited. Today is Easter, and our topic today is reveal, release, rise, and repeat. So in this month, we're celebrating creativity, and this year, we are living everyday wonder. So, in honor of creativity, just a reminder that creativity is who and what we are. So seen or unseen, Spirit is always, always creating. So today I want to chat about revealing the truth, releasing the blocks, and rising up and blessing the world. And we do it again and again and again. And I have to say, before the talk, I was talking with Reverend Amy, and I said, I was doing this talk and practicing the talk, and I'm still going to read it, so. But I thought, Spirit said to me, you really should listen to what this talk is about. And I thought, okay. So she said, yeah, sometimes Spirit does that. So I really love the theme of rebirth. And metaphysically, Passover and Easter both symbolize rebirth. So we're dying to our old self, and we're reborn in a spiritual way. So the creative message of both Passover, which is a Jewish celebration, and Easter, which is a Christian celebration, is about rising and transcendence. So Passover celebrates the liberation of the Israelites from Egyptian enslavement over 3,000 years ago. And Easter celebrates Jesus risen from the crucifixion. So these are both celebrations, again, of deliverance and of rebirth. Deepak Chopra says this about the crucifixion. He says, the symbolic language of the crucifixion is the death of the old paradigm. Resurrection is a leap into a whole new way of thinking. So we rise up when we transcend our fears and our prejudices and our histories to be instruments for divine creative expression. When we say rise in faith, believing, it means we inhabit and create from a field of pure potentiality that exceeds and celebrates our own precious, unique, and beloved humanness. So as you can see here, we did a little bit of decorating for Easter. We have some fake spring flowers. And then some over there, and then as you can see, we have some eggs. So did you know that the egg is a symbol of the Renaissance of deliverance and rebirth? So yes, and this is the same as it was in ancient times when the pagans created a celebration of the spring solstice. The Romans, they offered eggs to their goddess of agriculture, Ceres. Along with a good part of the ancient world, they considered eggs also symbols of rebirth, fertility, and good luck. So the smooth oval shape of the egg, free of corners, was associated with well-being and tranquility. And eggs have been dyed since ancient times, although red was more favored by the Greeks and the Celts than the pastel colors we use today. One of the reasons eggs became a part of the Easter tradition was because a lot of Christians gave them up during Lent. So when Easter came and they could have eggs, they were, the perfect symbol. So, and also, not to mention the plastic ones, they have room for candies, and coins, and when you hide them in the yard for the kids, they don't rot after a couple of weeks if they're not found. You just find them in the cut in the grass. So the plastic ones are good in their own way. So Easter itself is actually derived from an ancient celebration, a conglomerate, if you will, of various cultures. So the ancients, or the pagans, celebrated the vernal equinox, which begins actually in March, but it's basically a celebration of the coming of spring. And they celebrate it as a renewal of nature. So Easter was also a religious celebration of the beginning of the new year astrological, which starts with Aries. And that is also the magical year used by the ancient shamans, druids, pagans, magicians, and pretty much esoterics of all ages, of all times. So the Christian church kind of took over that time period to celebrate their Christian Easter, and they did that in about the 4th century. So we're not here for a history lesson, I totally get that. But if you research Easter, you're going to find that this time and this kind of a celebration of rebirth and rising has been celebrated for millennia. So it's all about rebirth, renewal, revealing, rising, and releasing the old to make way for the new. So rising up is a gift we give ourselves and the universe. Just as Jesus, who we consider the great example, was no longer tomb-bound, neither are we. We live beyond our stones and barriers by choosing to reveal and release our inner hidden splendor. We are reborn into a higher place in consciousness where we can envision and create lives of deep meaning in a world that works for everyone. We set aside or release those barriers that are fear and doubt and give life to the joyful creative process of spirit itself. So living above and beyond judgments, limited thinking, or ego, we can experience peace both within and outside of ourselves. We do this through our very choice to create and to renew ourselves. So when we lead with peace and positive intention, the divine artistry of the universe is revealed to us. In the Science of Mind textbook, Dr. Ernest Holmes, our founder, wrote this: "We all have the ability to transcend previous experiences and rise triumphant above them, but we shall never triumph over them while we persist in going through the old mental reactions." He went on to say, "Releasing the weight of past limiting beliefs and judgments frees us to rise up in faith, which is mental assertion elevated to the plane of realization." So all those fancy words just mean it's our thoughts becoming our life, becoming manifest. You know, from what in religious science, Science of Mind, from the What We Believe document, we believe that heaven is within us, and we experience it to the degree that we can become conscious of it. So when we rise up in our consciousness of heaven, we do that. And it's not just by relocation from here to there or thinking about rising up to heaven, you know, like clouds in the sky. It's really when we do this through our intention to reveal it here and now, to actually experience and to have that experience, that consciousness of heaven within us now. So throughout the Science of Mind textbook, Ernest Holmes does speak of the great teacher, Jesus, and he said this about Jesus: "Jesus taught a power transcendent, triumphant, absolute, positive, against which lesser laws mean nothing. By its very presence, it heals. So this transcendent power is not outside of us. It is really our true identity, our Christ light within. Recognition of our own divinity combined with the willingness to cultivate it by a conscious and consistent awareness of it, it reveals our inner imprisoned splendor. It allows that to be revealed. And by our recognition of this, we create an opening for higher knowing, and we activate that flow of divine energy that is always partnered with us. So Easter is a time for reflection and contemplation, and it provides us with an opportunity to renew our personal alignment to our journey of spiritual growth and transformation. So it can also help us, when we think about it in this way, uncover a much deeper level of our own divine connection, again, to the Christ within. Awakening to our own Christ consciousness is what Easter is truly about. And it invites us to weave our humanity in, around, and through our divinity. So we start revealing. And that is all about uncovering our inner truth, truth with a capital T, and the light within us. We recognize that we're surrounded, filled, saturated, sustained by a power greater than we are, and we can use it. So revealing is when we seek to consistently remember to reveal who we are. So when challenges show up, the real challenge is in remembering to name and claim Spirit as source, substance, and truth. In truth, we are unlimited channels for possibility. Our recognition of this opens us up to life's vitality and creative energy. So as we think about Easter in a different way, you're given the opportunity to even shift your understanding of what a tomb represents, which is often in a symbol in a Christian celebration of Easter. It's not a dank and dark and airless space, but a place of deep rest and relaxation, and even renewal. If you substitute the word womb for tomb, our entire perception changes when we look at that differently. So all of creation must gestate before birth. All creative ideas and possibilities need to develop and deepen before they're produced in form. So go to God first, meaning reveal truth in and as you. Then the guidance you seek will be divinely inspired and informed by infinite loving intelligence, the thing itself. So, what do we release in this recognition of Easter? We need to release, or you have the opportunity to release the weight of opinion, resentment, judgment, unforgiveness. All of those things are heavy enough to make you feel crucified at times. The unholy trinity of blame, shame, and regret are not spiritual gifts. How can anyone experience the kingdom of heaven within if it's buried under layers of anger and victim beliefs? How can we rise up in spiritual magnificence if we stay tied to justification and always being right? We can't. So release is a process of, again and again and again, revealing what needs to be let go of, reconciled, or simply turned away from. When you dig up the buried scorecards of who did what to whom, there can be surprises. But be willing to forgive and to see from a higher viewpoint. Step away from that. And if you need help doing that, reach out to a practitioner. So finally, we rise up. So what does that mean? There's a song that says, love lifts us up where we belong. But we could say truth lifts us up to where we belong. If we choose to think and create from this upper room of consciousness, as Emma Curtis Hopkins would call it, we live above and we live beyond precedent. So we move as a person that pursues divine mind. The infinite invisible is always wanting to create through its creations, and it will not be denied. We are its creations. So rising up beyond our resentments and stories actually frees up spiritual bandwidth within us for innovation and as yet undreamed of creation by us, co-creating with Spirit. Now, don't get me wrong, it is very seductive to engage in gossip, hate, judgment. And our adrenals and our physiologies can be hijacked by social media, news outlets, our own families. Imagine that. So don't get taken out by someone else's fear-based agenda or unhealed emotional, spiritual wounds. So transcendence is a habit, it's not a destination. We do it again and again and again. So Ernest Holmes told us that science of mind is a teaching and a practice. So if we want to rise up, we have to practice rising up. We have to practice revealing the spiritual truth and practice revealing what's not spiritual truth. And daily discipline ourselves to practice rising above what he referred to as the race consciousness or the collective perception of how things are in the world. We're going to go beyond that. So what do we do? So you want to create a new and transcendent narrative for your life based on what is possible, not what has been. Write a new story of self-love, self-care, self-expression. Dare to cross out the doubting words of others, the doubting words within yourself, the negative headlines in the news, and even the dogma of religious fear. Instead of saying, why me? Replace it with, why not me? Emerson wrote, God will not have his work made manifest by cowards. Always, 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 always do what you are afraid to do. Do the thing you fear, and the death of fear is certain. So every step we take in growing our awareness of God and our awareness of our oneness with God will lead us further and further from the familiar path we've been treading. It may actually feel scary, it may be unpredictable, might even be nerve-wracking. But this sacred life that you are living, it's not a rehearsal, it's not a punishment. Dare to see yourself as a victorious being of pure spirit that you are. Dare to live as more than you ever have. Reveal truth, release the blocks, rise up, and do it again and again. That is our personal rebirth. So how do we do that? Well, there's a few things that you can do as a spiritual practice. You can reawaken yourself through contemplation and meditation, because what that does is that anchors us in creating a deep consciousness of God's presence within us. Or you can pay attention to your can'ts. So when you hear yourself say, I can't blank, about something, elevate it to say, I choose to not blank. Because when you do that, it will create in you a powerful sense of your own power to choose response instead of reaction. You'll also begin to experience yourself as a creative being and not a reactive ball of hurt feelings. So you could also participate in what I call the cross it out practice. So you pick an affirmation and you write it down, and then you sit in contemplation for a moment and you allow its opposite to come up. Then you write that down. Now you cross out that opposite, and then you write your affirmation once more below that one. Then you keep that affirmation with you and repeat it during the day. So as negatives or opposites pop up, and you know they will in a regular day, you envision yourself crossing them out and replacing them with that daily affirmation that you've chosen. And finally, you can practice small random acts of forgiveness. So use this simple phrase, I forgive you, I bless you, I release you. Whenever you find yourself frustrated or triggered by someone else in traffic, at the grocery store, in the news, in the family, anywhere you are, I forgive you, I bless you, I release you. Forgiveness always blesses the one doing the forgiving because it invites the question, who am I able to be without this event or this person defining me and my reaction? So I want to introduce a ritual today, but I wanted to start out doing that by sharing some quotes which were appropriate to today's topic. This first one is the one that Joni shared, and it bears repeating. It's from Spiritual Economics, Eric Butterworth. He said, when you really know yourself as a spiritual being, you experience the fulfillment of the law, which rushes, streams, and pours into you in substance, supply, and all that's required for success. Eckhart Tolle wrote in Stillness Speaks, you find peace not by rearranging the circumstances of your life, but by realizing who you are at the deepest level. And in All About Love, Bell Hooks shared this. Living life in touch with the divine spirit lets us see the light in all living beings. That light is a resurrecting life force. And lastly, this isn't really a quote, but it was kind of a funny little remark in the theme information that we get every week, and I couldn't resist, so this is it. The Easter Bunny just called, that which you are seeking is found within. And spoiler alert, it's way better than peas or chocolate eggs. That's cute, it's worth a chuckle. So let me tell you what we're going to do for a little ritual today in our season of Reveal, Release, and Rise. So I'd like you all to participate in this ritual. So in a moment, what I'm going to ask you to do is to rise from your seats and to release any old restricted ways of thinking as you rise symbolically. And to come forward to this beautiful basket of plastic eggs, Easter eggs, and just take one for yourself. And if you remember earlier when I shared that the smooth oval shape of the egg, free from corners, was associated with well-being and tranquility. So I'm going to ask you to hold that well-being and tranquility within you as you come forward to claim your egg. Within each egg is an affirmation which is meant to reveal to you a reborn aspect of yourself. So while we do this ritual, Tony's going to play some of this beautiful music, and when we're done, we will take this rebirth and renewal into prayer. So, Tony, would you start? And I invite you to come up. In well-being and tranquility, claim your affirmation. So today, on this holiest of days, we close with prayer. Today, I celebrate the resurrection. I reveal, release, and rise in the rebirth of the Christ consciousness within me, the light within every living being. I know this power of love and light and peace as spirit, as divine mind, as the architect and source of all creation. This thing I call source is the light of the world. It is compassion, joy, celebration, love, peace, and knowing. I know I am everlastingly connected to this source, and I know that each and every person is this energy, this principle expressing in their own unique way. What I claim for today is that everyone celebrating this Easter is moved and changed. Each person takes within this sacred holiday symbolism to awake to the divinity within themselves. There's a recognition and a knowing of the spiritual magnificence of the self in co-creation with spirit. And I know that each person in their spiritual beingness rises up to release the old ways of thought, to cast out what no longer serves them. I see the revelation of Christ's consciousness lighting up each person as they step into their unfolding life with joy, love, and creativity, knowing their deep, infinite connection to God. I claim this shift in consciousness as a symbol of the rebirth within each and every person when the choice is made to live a sacred life of truth, creativity, and peace. I know this consciousness emanates from us into the world, allowing for a new world that works for everyone. So I rest in an ever-expanding feeling of gratitude and appreciation for spirit, for the releasing and rising into the divinity and co-creation with spirit that we are born into. I'm thankful for this gathering today to celebrate the renewal of spirit within each and every one. I release this prayer into the law, knowing that the answer to prayer is always a resounding yes. And I know that it is already done in the mind of the one. I close with Amen, Ashe, and ask you to close with me by saying, and so it is.
Now this song you'll probably remember because we all used to sing it together a while back. So when the party note comes in, join in.
Now it's time for the giving of our gifts, and I want to thank everyone for the way that you are continuously, consciously contributing to the center during these times. We're honored to be able to continue to support you spiritually, and we appreciate the gifts and the conscious contributions you give to Columbus Center for Spiritual Living. These are important because it helps us to fulfill our vision of helping to create a world that works for everyone. So as we engage with the law of circulation, we remember that God is our source, and we are circulating Spirit's energy in the form of money by giving and receiving. So let's, if you would, please say our affirmation with me. My gift goes forth to heal and bless and prosper, It does its good and perfect work and returns to me multiplied abundantly. And so it is.
So as we witness the law of circulation, we're going to sing, God is my source, because that is true.
God is my source, God is my power, God is the everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, God is the everything I need. God is my source, God is my power, God is the everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, God is the everything I need.
This world produces peace.
God is my source, peace is my power, peace is the everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, peace is the everything I
Good
need.
peace comes joy.
God is my source, God is my power, God is the everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, God is the everything I need. God is the everything I need. God is the everything I need.
So as we continue to gather and share these wonderful talents and our treasures, I know that Spirit is everywhere present. It is inside of each of us, and I am thankful. Holy gratitude to all who contribute to and participate in the service, including all of you who chose to join us today. And I know that the gifts presented here are given and received with love, joy, and a sense of true abundance and prosperity of infinite source. So thankful that we are all one, and for the many gifts we bring, together we sing.
And so it is, and so we let it be. And so it is, and so we let it be.
I'm going to shake it up a little bit. I'm going to do this. If you're joining us for the first time today, we welcome you. We would love to give you a welcome packet with our information. So Matt is way back there, and so if you haven't received a welcome package, stop and get that from him. If you're joining us for the first time on Facebook or YouTube, then go to our website and click on more information and we'll send you that. You can even actually call us old school if you want. We have a number. Woo, baby. So now I would like to do the gratitude rant because I love doing this at the end of service. So I'd like to thank our practitioners today, Kristen Pierce for meditation and holding high watch, and Joni Bauman for being on platform today, and Tammy Evans, the practitioner, for doing our live streaming. I want to do a big thank you to our featured musician, Carissa Holmes, our center trio, Tony Bernardi, Steve Caracas, and Joe Casco. We also want to thank Rob Kuhn on sound, Matt Goodell, our service coordinator, Debbie Conkle over here doing a great job on slides, and thanks to our song leaders, Helen and Mag Ware. Thank you. And all the other volunteers that help create this sacred space for celebration. Last but not least, thanks to all of you that are here in person and also that are viewing us live on Facebook or later on YouTube. We love and appreciate you. Come into the center, bring a friend, and experience who we are and the love that we have for you. So let's say our blessing, and you can stand up or sit down, doesn't matter, but I love this blessing. So let's say it together. There is only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. And so it is.
So when you said you're gonna shake things up, I used to do the hokey pokey every time.
Hey, let's stand for the closing song each and every day.
Each and every day I know I'm gonna share some love. Each and every day I know I'm gonna share some love. Each and every day I know I'm gonna share some love. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah.
Joy.
Each and every day I know I'm gonna share some joy. Each and every day I know I'm gonna share some joy. Each and every day I know I'm gonna share some joy. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Each and every day I know I'm gonna share some light. Each and every day I know I'm gonna share some light. Each and every day I know I'm gonna share some light. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Each and every day I know I'm gonna share some love. Each and every day I know I'm gonna share some love. Each and every day I know I'm gonna share